Alrighty guys, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video on the channel. Today I am hyped. We're going to be learning the Bri fly out today. I think that is one of the most requested tricks, and I think it's a pretty cool trick to learn before the Bri air. So we're going to do that today, but first of all, before we get into anything, smash the thumbs up button, double smash it, dude. And I just want to wish you guys a happy new year. Today is the 31st of December and we're cracking into 2024, and I want to give a quick thank you to everyone that's watched my channel over the last year. It means a lot to me. You guys have supported me. Thank you to everyone that's brought the merch and my grip tape. I can't thank you enough. It's really helped support the channel, and I'm excited for a brand new year, and I'm excited to take the channel to the next level. To all my new subscribers, thank you for stopping by. I hope the content's been great for you, and I hope it's been really valuable and you've got a lot out of it and it's entertained you guys. But we're gonna head into another year and it's gonna be awesome. So we're gonna be doing lots of tutorials, lots of riding videos. We're gonna be doing lots of stuff. So stick around and let's get into the video, guys. Let's go. Alrighty guys, let's get cracking into the tutorial. Today we're doing the Bri fly out. I'm super stoked to teach you this. So here's what we're gonna do first up. We've got to figure out which side we bri on, okay? So for me, I actually bri both ways now. I started brying on my left side. The reason that I changed to brying on my right side was because I aired to the right. Now, keep this in mind when learning it fly out, okay? You can learn either one fly out, but make sure whichever one you perceive to learn is the same way that you air. It's gonna help you in the future when you land the Bri air. So some of you are gonna wanna bri to the left like me, but air to the right. So learn to bri on your right side, okay? So let's get cracking into step one. We're gonna learn the motion first, all right? Because I think a lot of people have trouble with this motion. Then we're gonna roll out onto the ramp and how to actually flick it. Because flicking a Bri fly out is a little different to flicking a Bri air, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna do an example on my right side, okay? So on my right side, I'm gonna stand on my right side like this. I'm gonna turn my bars into the left position like this, straight like that. And I'm gonna keep my body straight, just like this. Now, I'm gonna keep it straight and I'm gonna pull over my head and rotate it back down. Now, the most important thing with the motion is keeping those bars turned for as long as possible. Remember guys, it's the opposite to the inward. So we turn our bars, we pull, and then we let them come back flat as we're in that 3/4 mark just behind me. So turning back, just like that. This is a pulling motion, guys. It's not a pushing motion, okay? A pulling motion is a lot easier to do than a pushing motion, okay? So just keep that in mind. The Bri is a pull. Now, guys, the next thing you're gonna do with the motion is start to flick it off your feet. Now that you've got your bars turned right, we're gonna pick a foot to flick with. For this example, I'm gonna use my back foot, but some of you are gonna flick with your front foot off the ramp, okay? And some of you are not gonna flick at all. So there's 3 different ways to do it. So we've got the back foot flick, turning up and around, straight back into the back foot. We've got the front foot flick, up and over like that, which looks bad. I don't like the front foot flick at all. Then we've got the method of jumping off to the side and pulling the Bri around. Sometimes this is the one that I use. When I use it fly out, I don't actually flick off my feet that much. You'll see me jump off later on in the video and turn my bars and just pull, okay? Now, the second step is, when we get to the ramp, is our body positioning. For the motion purposes on the ground, we are going to stay dead straight, okay? When we get into the air, we're gonna turn just a tad. So I'm gonna be brying to my right side, so I turn to my right side just a little bit, yeah? So I'm actually gonna be more like this in the air and pulling the Bri across my body just like that. And I've got no issues with you practicing the motion like that either. The reason I wanted you to stay straight and practice the motion is so that you get used to turning your bars and being in that awkward position. But from now, we're gonna turn our bars like that and pull the Bri across our body into our back foot like that, okay? That's pretty much it for the motion, guys. Just keep those bars turned, pull it all the way around, give it some force. If you're smaller, this is for you young kids out there, kick it off your back foot, because if you kick it off your back foot, you're gonna get momentum. I'm big and decently strong, so I can lift my scooter around my head pretty easy, but some of you guys are gonna be small, short, and you're not gonna be able to pull the scooter around, all right? So we're gonna pull it around off our back foot just like this. Rip, pull. Once you get that, dude, we're going to the ramp. Let's go. All right, guys, we're over on the ramp right now, and I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different in this tutorial. I'm gonna show you on a ramp with coping. I was gonna show you on the resi, but the reason I'm gonna show you on a ramp with coping is because that's what most likely you guys are gonna be learning on, and coping makes it a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna get started on here. Before we get started, we're gonna talk a little bit about foot positioning. There's 2 ways to kick off the Bri here. I stand like this in my regular position when I do the Bri, because it's very important for me to land back in this position. I want to land with my feet sideways on my deck like this when I'm doing a bri. Sometimes you can do a bri starting with ski position like this. So if you start with your foot on the brake and a foot forward, you're still gonna be able to bri fine. Sometimes that's how I do it as well, but I always land like this. So we're always aiming to land like this, or if you're goofy, like this, okay? We're never aiming to land dead straight on the deck. We're always aiming to land sideways. Just wanted to give you that tip, all right? All right, let's do our first step. So what we're gonna do is, when we drop into the ramp, we're gonna go up, obviously approach our fly out, okay? Now this part's very important. For this one, we're gonna use the jump off method. So we're gonna jump off the scooter as the front wheel hits the coping, and we're gonna immediately turn our bars and pull up and then down in a two-part motion. So the first part of it is I want you to be able to pull up. So we're gonna turn our bars to the left if you're regular, right if you're goofy, and we're gonna pull up straight away, all right? All right, I'm gonna show you one now. I'm not gonna land it, I'm just gonna slow-mo it down for you. So we're gonna hit the coping, jump off, pull up, and bring it down. If you can get your scooter to land to the side of you like this, that's great for a first attempt and you're gonna have no problem. If it's getting locked up in the air, something's going wrong with you turning your bars. You're keeping your bars straight for too long and you're trying to pull it up like this. You've got to turn those bars immediately. So remember from the motion, I'm turning my bars to the right and I'm facing towards that as well. I'm turning my bars to the left, sorry, and facing towards the right so I can pull across my body. I will say, guys, when you're first trying this, it is gonna feel very awkward, okay? That coping is gonna fight you. It is gonna fight you so hard. It's gonna bounce your scooter around and you have to force your scooter through the coping to be able to pull the bri. Once you're past that initial coping stage, the pull will work. But if you're getting stuck there, guys, keep pulling harder and focus on turning those bars a little bit. There's a little bit of speed problems here as well. If you go too slow, you're not gonna have the power. You need to go decently fast at it. Start off by going pretty high on the fly out to pull that bri around, okay? Now, I'm gonna get into the more technical part of the bri too and a few problems that you're gonna face, all right? So just like the inward tutorial, there is a place where you need to have the bri in position to your body, okay? So if you're briing and you're going up really high like that, it's gonna feel easy to bring the bri around, but it's not gonna be easy to land. It's the same as the inward. Remember our hip to chest ratio, okay? It's the same thing. So you wanna pull the bri up, keep it within your hips and chest area and pull it round like that, okay? You can start on the higher end and slowly work your way down to a lower type of bri. The more experienced people can kind of just chuck bris like that and over it like that, very easily, like a super whip. But for this purposes, we're gonna go nice and high, but not above shoulders. We're gonna keep the bars right there. So it's gonna be around this area here. Like for me, I'm like 5'8", so it's around my chest and nipple area right there. And that's where I'm gonna keep the bri in the motion like this all the way around, okay? That's very important. Now, as you're learning this and you start to encounter a few problems, I'm gonna try like help you with those problems right now before they occur. So the bri can be looked at as a one-part motion or a two-part motion, okay? Me right now, as experienced as I am, I can do it in a one-part motion. I can pull up and around, so one part like that, right? But for you guys, you might have to do a two-part motion where you pull up and pull down. And the pulling down part is where a lot of people struggle with, okay? This is very important, this tip here. This is what's gonna make or break you being able to do a bri, okay? So when we initiate off the coping and we jump off and we pull up, once it's here, once it's right there, guys, you've got to then pull down. So with my right elbow here, I am locking and I'm gripping down towards my feet and I'm watching it the whole time, okay? I've always got my eye on the bri. So you're 3/4 of the way here with my right elbow or left elbow, whichever one. You're gonna put force down in this position here. Hopefully you can see my elbow moving here, and you're gonna push force down and pull that bri around, keeping the bars turned and letting them turn back the way that they should naturally. Don't force it. Okay, so you've got through all that. You're starting to pull the bri around, it's starting to land next to you. All right, you've got through all that. That might take you a while, guys. This is not gonna happen in one session. Take the tips from this video, apply them over and over until you can get that bri sitting next to your feet. Then what do? We have to try land it, right? So when it comes to landing the tricks, it's the same for all tricks, right? You can clamp your feet together, you can catch it. All those methods I've gone over in other videos, so I'm not gonna go over. You guys know how to commit, and you know how to commit with one foot. But The next step is to get it to 1 foot, okay? We've got to get it to 1 foot. So I'm gonna demonstrate how to do that. Once the bri has been pulled around and you're watching the bri the whole time, we're gonna, that last bit at that 3/4 where we tuck our elbow and pull down, we're gonna be watching the bri and we're gonna drag it into our back foot, all right? As such, I'm gonna show you right now. Let's give it a crack, okay? So we're gonna jump up, fling it round, and we're gonna bring it into 1 foot. Up, off, turn, down into 1 foot, just like that. Now, you guys are gonna get stuck here for a little while. This position here is gonna take you a bit to get used to because the bri sits behind you a little bit and you're gonna find that you're trying to drag your foot there. So, if that's happening to you, make sure you can get the bri right next to you like this and then you can place a foot on. So we're gonna bring it up, around, straight into 1 foot, just like that, all right? Just don't forget, guys, to have that body turned a little bit so you're facing the bri a little bit, all right? You want to face the bri a little bit as you're landing it. Now we're going to do a couple and we're going to land it. We're going to clamp our feet together, all right? So once you've gone through all those steps and you can pull it round, as soon as the bri lands next to your feet, like this, guys, if you can land like this, you're ready to land it. You don't even need to go to the 1 foot step. You can actually just go to the jumping step and land straight on the bri straight away. If you're there already, clamp your feet together, do the clamping method, straight on the scooter and roll away. If you're stuck at 1 foot, remember the process of dragging this foot closer or to snap your feet together. If you're finding that 1 foot's going out in front of the other and you're landing like this every time, slowly drag this foot in until you can get it on the scooter, or just straight away use the snap method, all right? Let's land a bri flyer. Let's go. We're jumping in. Oh, that was a perfect example. I'm so glad that happened just then of how I landed. I didn't pull hard enough. I was too relaxed. I still got 2 feet on and I landed like this. A couple of you guys are gonna land like that. So remember, apply a bit more force to get yourself upright. Let's go again. There we go, nice and easy. And you can see I landed exactly the way that I wanted to. My body positioning was turned to the right, everything was lined up, I was watching the bri, and I pulled it into my feet. This is a trick that you have to rip into your feet, guys. This is the most important part. I think that's what separates the bri fly out from a lot of other tricks. Fly out is that you have to actually pull it to your feet instead of going and getting it like an inward where I go and get it. With the bri, I have to pull it in and use the suction cup method to really bring it up to my foot, right? That's the part that people struggle with. But if you've got all of those steps in place where you're standing sideways and you turn, you can just keep bringing it into your feet. And then the other variables, guys, are just height and speed. Make sure you got enough height, make sure you got enough speed. I cannot determine how much height and speed you need for a bri because everyone's strength levels are different, everyone's skill level is different. So experiment and go out there and get your first bri flip. That's gonna do me for today's tutorial. I hope this helps you get a bri. I've got some good news for 2024 if you're still here. I'm gonna be developing an awesome program for you guys that goes way more in depth about all these tricks. I find it too hard to film a YouTube video where I can go fully in depth on everything that you need, all the details. I've had a couple of comments saying that it's not in detail enough, but I am working on that, guys, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna teach you all the beginner tricks in this package that you can purchase, and it's gonna have every single step that you need. The videos will go for much longer. They're gonna be much more in depth with everything, like from angles, just a whole lot. I can't wait to bring that out for you guys. It's gonna take me a lot to develop, but until then, use these tips from these videos, guys, because they're gonna be very helpful for you. And to those guys that are still struggling, I've got something coming for you. So just hold on, sit tight, keep watching the channel, and we'll get it done. My goal is to teach you guys every scooter trick that I know the right way and a good way, and to help you guys learn. So until the next video, guys, I'm signing out, and I'll see you guys in 2024. Let's go.